Hi everybody, I'm Jacob, and today we're going to be reading Joshua 1 through 5. Just got back from Bible study. It was great. I met some good people there, and I've been putting it wrong in the titles. It's GNT, Good News Translation. But look, I was putting it as this. I don't know why I did that, but so Joshua. I need to catch my breath, I don't know. Okay. God commands Joshua to conquer Canaan. After the death of the Lord's servant Moses, the Lord spoke to Moses' helper, Joshua, son of Nun. He said, "My servant Moses is dead. Get ready now, you and all the people of Israel, and cross the Jordan River, into the land that I am giving them. As I told Moses, I am giving you and all my people the entire land you will be marching over. Your borders will reach from the desert in the south to Lebanon mountains in the north, from the great Euphrates River in the east, through the Hittite country of the Mediterranean Sea. In the west, Joshua, no one will be able to defeat you as long as you live. I will be with you as I was with Moses. I will always be with you. I will never abandon you. Be determined and confident, for you will be the leader of these people as they occupy this land which I promised their ancestors. Just be determined, be confident, and make sure that you obey the whole law that my servant Moses gave you. Do not neglect any part of it, and you will succeed wherever you go. Be sure that the book of the law is always read in the night, or read in your worship. Study it day and night, and make sure that you obey everything written in it. Then you will prosper, and you will be prosperous and successful. Remember that I have commanded you to be determined and confident. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for I, the Lord your God, am with you wherever you go." Joshua gives orders to the people. Then Joshua ordered the leaders, "Go through the camp and say to the people, 'Get some food ready, because in 3 days you are going to cross the Jordan River to occupy the land that the Lord your God is giving you.'" Joshua said to the tribes of Reuben and Gad, and to half the tribe of Manasseh, "Remember how the Lord's servant Moses told you that the Lord your God will give you this land on the east side of the Jordan as your home. Your wives, your children, and your livestock will stay here, but your soldiers, armed for battle, will cross over ahead of the other Israelites in order to help them, until they have occupied the land west of the Jordan that the Lord your God has given them. When he has given safely to all the tribes of Israel, then you may come back and settle here in your own land east of the Jordan, which Moses, the Lord's servant, gave to you." They answered Joshua, "We will do everything you have told us, and will go anywhere you send us. We will obey you, just as we always obeyed Moses. And may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. Whoever questions your authority or disobeys any of your orders will be put to death. Be determined and confident." Joshua sent spies into Jericho. When Joshua sent 2 spies from the camp of Acacia with orders to go and secretly explore the land of Canaan, especially the city of Jericho. When they came to the city, they went to spend the night in the house of a prostitute named Rahab. The king of Jericho heard that some Israelites had come that night to spy out the country. So he sent word to Rahab, "The men in your house have come to spy out the whole country. Bring them out." "Some men did come to my house," she answered, "but I don't know where they were from. They left at sundown before the city gate was closed. I didn't find out where they were going, but if you start after them quickly, you can catch them." Now Rahab had taken the 2 spies under the roof and hidden them under some stalks of flax that she had put there. The king's men left the city, and then the gate was shut. They went looking for the Israelite spies as far as the place where the road crosses the Jordan. Before the spies settled down for the night, Rahab went on the roof and said to them, "I know that the Lord has given you this land. Everyone in the community is terrified of you. Everyone in the country is terrified of you. We have heard how the Lord dried up the Red Sea in front of you when you were leaving Egypt. We have also heard how you killed Sihon and Og, the 2 Amorite kings east of the Jordan. We were afraid as soon as we heard about it. We have also lost our courage because of you. The Lord your God is God in heaven, above and here on earth. Now swear by him that you will treat my family as kindly as I have treated you, and give me some sign that I can trust you. Promise me that you will save my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all their families. Do not let us be killed." The men said to her, "May God take our lives if we don't do as we say. If you do not tell anyone what we have been doing, we promise you that when the Lord gives us this land, we will treat you well." Rahab lived in a house built into the city wall. So she let the man down from the window by a rope. "Go into the hill country," she said, "where the king's men will find you. Hide there for 3 days until they come back. After that, you can go on your way." The men said to her, "We will keep the promise that you have made us give. This is what you must do. When we invade your land, tie this red cord on to your window. Let us down from there. Give your mother and father, your brothers and all your father's family, together in your house. If anyone goes out of the house, his death will be his own fault, and we will not be responsible. But if anyone in the house with you is harmed, then we will be responsible. However, if you tell anyone what we have been doing, then we will not have to keep our promise, which you have made us give you." She agreed and sent them away. When they had gone, she tied the red cord to the window. The spies went into the hills and hid. The king's men looked for them all over the countryside for 3 days, but they did not find them. So they turned to Jericho. Then the 2 spies came down from the hills, crossed the river, and went back to Joshua. They told him everything that had happened, and then said, "We are sure that the Lord has given us the whole country. All the people there are terrified of us." The people of Israel crossed the Jordan. The next morning, Joshua and all the people of Israel got up early, left the camp at Acacia, and went to the Jordan, where they camped while waiting to cross it. 3 days later, the leaders went through the camp and told the people, "When you see the priests carrying the covenant box of the Lord your God, break camp and follow them. You have never been here." Okay. Sorry, my dad was texting me. "Break the camp and follow them. You have never been here before, so they will show you the way to go. But do not get near the covenant box. Stay about half a mile behind it." Joshua told the people, "Purify yourselves, because tomorrow the Lord will perform miracles among you." Miracles among you. Sorry, guys. Then he told the priests to take the covenant box and go with it ahead of the people. They did as he said. The Lord said to Joshua, "What I do today, make all the people of Israel begin to honor you as a great man, and they will realize that I am with you as I was with Moses. Tell the priests, carry the covenant box, that when you reach the river, they must wade in and stand near the bank." Then Joshua said to the people, "Come here and listen to what the Lord your God has to say. As you advance, we will surely drive out the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Hivites, the Perizzites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, and the Jebusites. You will know that the living God is among you when the covenant box of the Lord of all the earth crosses the Jordan ahead of you. Now choose 12 men, one from each of the tribes of Israel. When the priests who carry the covenant box of the Lord of the earth, of all the earth put their feet in the water, the Jordan will stop flowing. And the water coming down the stream will pile up in one place. It was harvest time, and the river was in flood. When the people left the camp to cross the Jordan, the priests went ahead of them, carrying a covenant box. As soon as the priests stepped into the river, the water stopped flowing and piled up far upstream at Adam, the city beside Zerethon. The flow down the stream to the Dead Sea was completely cut off. The people were able to cross over near Jericho. While the people walked across on dry ground, the priest carrying the covenant box stood on dry ground in the middle of the Jordan until all the people had crossed over. Memorial stones are set up when the whole nation had crossed the Jordan. The Lord said to Joshua, "Choose 12 men, one from each tribe, and command them to take 12 stones out of the middle of the Jordan, from the place where the priests were standing. Tell them to carry these stones with them and put them down where you camp tonight." Then Joshua called the 12 men he had chosen, and he told, people are texting me, I'm sorry. He told them, go into the Jordan ahead of the covenant box of the Lord, your God. Each one of you take a stone on your shoulder, one for each of the tribes of Israel. These stones will remind the people of what the Lord has done. In the future, when your children ask what these stones mean to you, you will tell them that the water of the Jordan stopped flowing when the Lord's covenant box crossed the river. These stones will always remind the people of Israel of what happened here. The men followed Joshua's orders, as the Lord had commanded Joshua. They took 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan, one for each of the tribes of Israel, carried them to the camping place, and put them down there. Joshua also set up 12 stones in the middle of the Jordan, where the priests carrying the covenant boxes stood. Those stones are still there. The priests stood in the middle of the Jordan until everything had been done that the Lord ordered Joshua to tell the people to do. This is what Moses had commanded. The people hurried across the river. When they were on the other side, the priests, the Lord's covenant box, went on ahead of the people. The men of the tribes of Reuben and Gad and of half the tribe of Manasseh, ready for battle, crossed ahead of the rest of the people as Moses had told them to do. In the presence of the Lord, about 40,000 men, ready for work, crossed over to the plain near Jericho. When the people did that, what the Lord did that day made the people of Israel consider Joshua a great man. They honored him all his life, just as they had honored Moses. Then the Lord told Joshua to command the priests carrying the covenant box to come out of the Jordan. Joshua did so, and when the priests reached the riverbank, the river began flowing once more and flooded its banks again. The people crossed the Jordan on the 10th day of the first month and camped at Gilgal, east of Jericho. There, Joshua set up the 12 stones taken from the Jordan, and he said to the people of Israel, "In the future, when your children ask you what these stones mean, you will tell them about the time when Israel crossed the Jordan on dry ground. Tell them that the Lord your God dried up the water of the Jordan for you until you had crossed, just as he dried up the Red Sea for us. Because of this, everyone on earth, you know how great the Lord's power is, and you will honor the Lord your God forever." All the Amorite kings west of the Jordan and all the Canaanite kings along the Mediterranean Sea heard that the Lord had dried up the Jordan across of the Jordan until the people of Israel had crossed it. They became afraid and lost their courage because of the Israelites, the circumcision of Gilgal. Then the Lord told Joshua, "Make some knives out of flint and circumcise the Israelites." So Joshua did as the Lord had commanded, and he circumcised the Israelites at a place called Circumcision Hill. When the people of Israel left Egypt, and all the males were already circumcised. However, during the 40 years the people spent crossing the desert, none of the baby boys had been circumcised. Also, by the end of that time, all the men who were fighting age when they left Egypt had died because they disobeyed the Lord, just as he had sworn. They were not allowed to see the rich and fertile land that he had promised their ancestors. The sons of these men had never been circumcised, and it was this new generation that Joshua circumcised. After the circumcision was completed, the whole nation stayed in the camp until the wounds had healed. The Lord said to Joshua, Today I have removed from you the disgrace of being slaves in Egypt. This is why the place was named Gilgal, the name it still has. While the Israelites were camping at Gilgal on the plain near Jericho, they observed Passover on the east of the 14th day of the month. The next day was the first time they ate food grown in Canaan, roasted grain and bread made without yeast. The manna stopped falling then, and the Israelites no longer had any. From what time they ate food grown in Canaan. While Israel was near Jericho, he suddenly saw a man standing in front of him holding a sword. Joshua went up to him and asked, "Are you one of our soldiers or an enemy?" "Neither," the man answered. "I am here as the commander of the Lord's army." Joshua threw himself on the ground and worshipped and said, "I am your servant, sir. What do you want me to do?" And the commander of the Lord's army told him, "Take your sandals off. You are standing on holy ground." And Joshua did as he was told. Okay, that was the end. Wow, when you really think about it, we're 300 pages in, and like, realistically, this is like about the length the book would be. So, yeah, that's our readings for today. What are we reading tomorrow? We're reading. My pen's gone. Finish this. We're reading Joshua 6-8. I wanna read this in a week because I've kind of been on a grind of reading one book a week. So 1, 5, 6. We're only in it for 6 days, I think. 24 is the last book, right? So we're already 1/4 of the way through. Yeah. So we can really easily finish this in a week. So we'll be okay. Wow. I spoiled it for me. Dang. Just the death of Joshua. Well, obviously he's going to die. I mean, I didn't think he was going to live forever. All right, let's pray. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Amen. I hope you guys have a good day. I'm going to do my New Testament readings by myself, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to finish Joshua this week. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.